looking forward to this.
What time?
Finally got around to getting this scheduled.
Oh yeah, it's like we were playing phone tag for like weeks, but yeah, yeah. Whenever it works. I guess
Yeah,
everybody's got busy schedules these days, so
especially right now and leading up to the season, getting everything ready. It's been a constant grind right now. It's get it all done while you can and try and stay out for a couple weeks.
when does your season open?
October 1st,
October 1st. Okay, and that's Illinois.
Illinois.
Okay, I didn't know if it was a later opener. It was the same as us,
Yeah,
but
when you guys opened up already, right?
we did. So I had a different wedding this last weekend for opener, so I didn't get to make that. It is what it is. And I knew it too, that it was going to happen this way because the week before I went in and checked like my cameras I've had
Yeah.
since like turkey season. And I didn't have anything consistently on camera
Uh,
in like the bedding areas I had. But when I was walking out of the one spot, I found like a really, really fresh, big rub line, like it was stuck out to me because usually like, they've been out of velvet here, maybe like 2 weeks tops. And I
yeah.
mean, these were trees were like shredded.
Wow.
So I mean, they were probably 8-inch trees,
Oh,
and they
that's
were all. I
good.
mean, it was a pretty good rubble line coming right out of standing
Yeah.
corn, right to like the one or two white oaks that were dropping. So I mean, it was pretty straightforward. Like if you were going to sit that spot, it'd be, pretty
Yeah.
straightforward. So I was like, of course, I stepped in the woods at the wrong time. I should have just stayed home and not checked until I
I'm
was going to go
assuming
hunt.
that friend of yours that had a wedding is not a
He is, but
Dude.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things where I think wherever their venue or where they had their wedding was,
Sure.
that was only available time, which actually the podcast that just dropped this last week, me and my buddy, who was also part of that wedding, kind of
Yeah.
talked about why we weren't hunting the opening weekend and kind of joked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But we've never killed really anything to talk about opening weekend. So we kind of were like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It was a
Hey,
good time. The wedding was.
watched
So
and the Packers were Thursday night, so you guys didn't have to worry about that.
no, 2-0.
Yeah, you guys
Life's good.
look good. You guys look
Life's
good.
good. Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like you said, season's right around the corner. What have you been doing lately to get ready? A lot of
Oh
stuff based on
man.
what your Instagram that I've been seeing.
Yeah, it's been a lot. I'm managing a couple properties, so basically as soon as the season ends, we're right into doing land management stuff, whether it's TSI. So usually January, February, I'm doing a little bit of that, taking out those invasives and then focus on a little bit of shed hunting, getting ready for turkey season. Now, I mean, since turkey season finished up, it's been getting plots and it's been getting stands up. It's been just trying to get these access trails primed just so that by the time this part comes around, I don't have to do all that busy work and the mowing and all
Right.
that. So I can just focus and stay out. Right now, it's just been basically filling up watering holes. We haven't had rain in a couple weeks, and water kills deer. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like you get these water holes with a stand, maybe I don't know, 20 yards off of it. I mean, it could be dynamite for you.
So is that like you guys talking more about the water holes because I've heard that before too and never really dabbled with it too much just because most of the spots that I've hunted that were private that I could manipulate things, I just got lucky and there was natural water source there.
Hmm.
So is that some place that if it does even have like a creek running through it with good water, are you still, or is the spot you're talking about like void of all water to start with?
Yeah, so a lot of the spots that I have, so like when I'm managing these pieces, I look around, I'm like, okay, what am I missing? Like what's the one thing or two things that these deer need? And for my piece, it was water and it was cover. So when I originally bought the piece, it was, 20 something acres of wooded timber and 25 acres of just ag field. And I basically converted that ag into CRP, and then put in two big natural water holes at either end of it. But recently I've just been using like those big tubs 100-gallon or
Yeah.
50-gallon tubs, and that seems to be working out pretty good. And it's probably better for EHD and stuff just to have it sitting in like a rubber container instead of just having that mud exposed. So that's the route
Right.
I've
So
been going.
I guess I'm not really an expert in how those diseases spread.
I guess it's like the cracking in the mud. So the lack of the rainfall, and you start to get all that crack in the midge actually starts to come up from that crack and gets into whatever water source is there, and then those deer go and they drink and it goes up their nose or whatever and through the mouth and they get affected.
Yeah.
That's how I have interpreted it.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
guess I haven't really like CWD is more. I don't even want to get into that because
yeah,
I think it's blown way out of proportion for what damage it does. But EHD is becoming a problem like in new states now, like
yeah, Ohio,
Ohio most notably, and know some people that
Indiana,
live in the southern part of the state there and Indiana, that kind of whole
hmm
region. But I haven't really done too much research on it just because it really hasn't like affected our area. So it's
yeah.
kind of just one of those things.
I mean, we got hit maybe I don't know 4 or 5 years ago with it, and I know CWD has been coming around supposedly. I mean, I think I had a deer last year that looked like he was pretty sick. I ended up
Yeah.
finding him dead at a water source. So, I'm in one of those counties where we have quite a few CWD numbers, I guess. So,
Right.
they're still doing the check-ins. Once you harvest a deer, you got to go get it checked in. They take out, one of those glands.
Sure. Like I said, if people have seen your Instagram account, I guess you put a lot of your stuff, just like your day to day stuff on there.
Yeah,
Like it's kind of cool to watch just setting up stands and like doing your, I don't know if it was a
one,
aerobic post or a straight post
yeah,
on
yep.
one of your food
I've
plots.
been setting up quite a few of those, and I try to walk people through, I get a lot of questions like, hey, what do you do for this? Does this work? And I'm
Yeah.
constantly learning.
Right.
The ways that I've found out has been from other guys on social media and YouTube and, reading
Is
a
it,
bunch of stuff. And
have you like taken to like one person? Is there like a system when you're obviously you didn't buy your property super long ago, so you're kind
mhm,
of trying to create your own system. Is it
yeah,
a hybrid of what you want to do and like what you learned over the years on other properties, like your family's farm? And then like
yeah.
is there like one habitat manager that you really
Uh,
closely talked to or got advice from or
Not really. I mean, I feel like,
no?
I've had my cousin that has been into like the environmental sciences and to get his aspect of things. And I'm fortunate to have a lot of great neighbors around that have land managed. So I'd say, for my area, I mean, like, I'll say it again, like, it's super fortunate to have neighbors that are actually trying to hold and like manage for big deer.
They have the same mindset as you. That definitely
Yeah,
helps.
definitely. And to pick their brains to see, what has worked for them. You can watch the guys like Jeff Sturgis and all that, but I feel like that's just all typical
Yeah,
mainstream stuff.
he's got his stuff that it works where he is
Exactly.
and what
Yeah.
clients want. That's half of it too, because I do a little bit of habitat work on the side too, and I work for a guy and manage some properties local to me, and he's all about like holistic land management.
Mhm.
Like to show him out his stuff is the Untamed Ambition. His name's Thomas, and he does really good work. And
Nice.
I've worked for him in the summers just like as a second job, just trying to soak. It all started with me reaching out, wanting to learn more about it, just to take
Mhm.
back and use for myself. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I have tons of work to do. Like, I'll get you started if you want to work for me a little bit." And I'm like, "Absolutely." And I was gonna do it for free. I was like, "I'll volunteer, like just so I can
Yeah.
learn." And he's like,
Yeah.
"No, I'm gonna pay you because you're out here in the summer like busting your butt."
Yeah.
And over the last, it's going on like 4 years now. I don't work for him a lot anymore, but here and there when he needs me, and just the things, the knowledge he has, and a lot
Mhm.
of it's like very specific to this area. So it's like you were talking about, I think it's important, like when you're doing projects and stuff, to do your research and to find somebody that is working on properties or is very knowledgeable in like areas where you are.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about, I feel like
Definitely.
you can
That's a good
correlate things a lot better.
yeah, that's a good piece of advice. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I put in terms of, putting in new shrubs, and we've done a lot of plantings, and you have to know what's native to the area. we love putting native plants in, giving back to the environment. It's given so much to us. So that's what I love about it. It's just we're able to give back and create a nice home for a bunch of wildlife. I mean, I'm seeing everything from fox, bobcat, pheasant, turkey, deer. Like that's what makes me happy is to be up in the stand and seeing like, okay, I created this and they're actually enjoying it, which is awesome. And obviously
Right.
to get some meat off of the property is our ultimate goal. But if I don't kill, I don't kill, and I still have a great time up in the stand.
Yeah, and that's like there's no wrong way to do it either. It is like kind of like the
No.
fun part about it is like you versus like me. We'd probably do things maybe kind of the same if our goal is the same in the end.
Yeah.
Like if we're managing for one specific thing, but if you're just trying to like do what you were saying and kind of just do what you want to do, each person's different and you can get the same outcome. You can do it completely different
Yeah.
and everybody wants a little bit something different out of it too. So that one guy might be managing for trophy whitetails and the other guy's just trying to fill all of his tags year to year. And they're going to do
Yeah.
things completely different and they're both going to accomplish their goals if they do it right.
Exactly. It's all goal specific. I mean, you have family members that are just out there to hunt and they just want to kill and put meat in the freezer, and that's great. Me, I want to harvest mature whitetails. That's what I'm trying to shoot for. I don't care about the bone on top. If he's an old deer, that's what I'm gonna go target. I mean, in the past 3 years, I've killed 5.5, killed 6.5, killed a 7.5 in Michigan. So I mean, my what I'm shooting for is 4.5 plus if I can. I'll have already a couple great deer on camera that are daylighting right now. So all historical sign and data. It's leading to potentially first week. We'll
There
see.
you go. Yeah, that's the hope. And I mean, you've been putting in the work, so I don't see.
Yeah, and you stay out and get everything done ahead of time. Um, the big thing is pressure too, pressure and access. And we always have that conversation with a lot of the family, and they're like, we're just not seeing as much deer as we'd like. And okay, let's sit back and think, okay, why is that? I mean, they see you
Right.
coming all the way across the field, and you guys are walking through the timber. I mean, pressure is going to scare off
It's
deer.
something nobody
They're not
thinks about,
idiots.
but yeah, it's something you really don't think about, but like it's very, very obvious. Like the easiest thing you could do to realize how big of an impact it has is, I mean, I don't run cell cameras anymore. I maybe would if I had a piece of private ground that I
Hmm.
was managing that I, just wanted to stay off of for that very
Yeah.
reason. But like on a food plot or a food source or something like that, just throwing a camera out or two and you would get real time data to see that if you're coming out, if there's deer already out in field
Yeah.
and you're accessing, you're going to see them leave and come back and you're going to
Yeah.
notice that.
And that's what the main reason I use cameras are for, just getting that basic intel and knowing, okay, are deer in there right now? And if not, can I jump in and not bust anything? I do the work ahead of time where I know where these deer are going to be pretty much come middle of October to, right before gun season.
Right.
I don't rely on the cameras because you start relying on cameras, you're,
You're chasing your tail. I can tell
yeah,
you that firsthand. That's kind of why I got away from them in general,
yeah,
especially on public ground is that it, it's so nice to have that real time data and it makes you feel great. Makes you sleep awesome when you get a picture or wake up and, you're hunting that morning and you
or it
got,
keeps you up.
or yeah, it can do the inverse too, but yeah, and then you're just chasing your tail. You're kind of already behind, that deer
Yeah,
makes a loop and he
definitely.
comes through an area once a week. It's,
Hmm.
you're kind of just guessing, but
Yeah, and you have to go off of your gut and know, like, okay, where have been all these rubs at? Where are all the scrapes at? Like, why are they in here at this time? What's causing them to be here? Like right now, acorns are dropping like no other.
yeah, that's
Where
the
do you
name of the
think
game early
where do
season
you think,
for
yeah, where
sure.
do you
And with that, it's kind of nice, like on like a private piece of ground, like you're starting to manage that you bought them and had this
um,
goal, like watching, like you were talking about, just getting that data from year after year. And like once you kind of like, that's the nice thing about a piece of ground that you control when you hunt it, how you hunt it, and who hunts it
yeah,
is you can kind of manipulate everything a little bit. And then once you learn their pattern, it kind of stays consistent year to year. And once you get that figured out after a handful of years, you know, then you can, you reap your rewards. You can stay out of there and
Yeah.
this week they're going to use this and they're going to transition to here. If this happens, if the neighbor is in there this weekend, that next week they'll be, they'll shift here.
Hmm.
It's kind of reminds me of the
And
same thing back home. I don't have a piece of private that I hunt where I'm at now for the last couple of years, but back home, growing up, that was, you kind of paid attention. We always used to, opening weekend of rifle season would drive around the block the night before opener. Okay, this guy's up at the cabin. This guy's up at the cabin. We know they're going to be coming from here and pushing the deer here. Like half of it's hunting other people and like just paying attention to those shifts different times a year. Cause it seems like every couple weeks or every week, they're kind of shifting their pattern a little bit, whether that's,
yeah,
one food source to one food source or based on pressure.
it's all about hunting smart. I mean, I've gotten to the point where the past, I think, 3 years, I had that mindset growing up where I had to be up in the stand, and that's great. If you're a weekend warrior and the weekends are the only time you could hunt, then get into the stand if that makes you happy. But what I've realized over the past couple of years is, okay, I'm only going to go in if everything's in my favor. And you hear that term all the time, like stacking the deck in your favor. You're doing more harm than good if you're going in with the wrong wind, if you're not focusing on your thermals, the temps aren't right, pressure's not good. Like you want everything to stack up so that you have the best chance for success. And the past couple years, that's what I've been doing, and it's probably been some of the most fun that I've had. I'm not getting
Yeah.
exhausted by the end of the season. I'm not tiring myself out because it is a grind. I mean, I only hunt private, but still, like, it's a lot of
Yeah.
work,
There's
man. It's so much
anybody that
work.
says, anybody that looks down on someone that strictly hunts private land and just thinks they're not as good of a hunter, like, I don't think people realize, especially when you have a small property like you do, like 20 acres,
Hmm.
you have to hunt that. Like, you have less, if you do the wrong thing and you like
Yeah,
put
you're
pressure on at the
done.
wrong time or screw it up, like, you have a better chance of going to the big piece of public, down the road and you're going to have better success there because like
Yeah.
there's so much more that goes into hunting a small piece of private that people don't think about that it could be harder sometimes
And
than hunting public
like,
or something
don't get
else.
me wrong, like scouting and doing all that work for public, it's difficult. I mean, from what I've seen, I've done a little bit of public, but for people that say that I don't put in the work or anything like that, which I don't think they do because they see how much I put in, but like
Yeah.
my wife now understands like how much I put into it. She's like, I didn't realize this is how much time you spend in the off season just to hunt these animals. I'm like, it's nonstop. It's 365, you know?
Right. Yeah. And there's always something to be done. Like you were saying at the beginning,
Always.
like it's a year round thing like it's not just the month before season, hang your
Yeah.
stands and plant your food plots. Like that's not, I mean, that can work for somebody, but to really maximize what your property can do,
Hmm.
there's so much more that needs to be done.
Yeah. And
So yeah, what were you gonna say?
just putting food plots in just that's not fun for me.
No, it
We
gets
like
kind of
to
old.
do burns. We have our burn season where we either do our woodland burns or our prairie burns, and we do that all effectively, and it's great for the environment. And then we do our TSI work. Usually, we do TSI work first, and then we burn right after that. Get that understory all killed off with all the invasives. And then spring, we're doing a ton of spraying. We're going around killing multifloral rose. We're killing honeysuckle.
I can first attest that walking around in 95-degree heat with a backpack spray or chemicals that you don't
Sucks.
want on your skin,
Yeah,
like it going through
terrible.
berry brush or briars or whatever, ripping
Yeah.
up your clothes. It's
Like
miserable.
you're in
They're not doing
you
that
have
for fun.
gloves, you have like I don't know, the respirator stuff. Like I don't want those chemicals in my lungs. So I wear that and it's just like you're dripping in sweat. You got ticks on you, but I mean, if you don't do it then, that's the best time to hit it with the chem is when it's bringing that nutrients in. So, I mean, you hit it on a nice
Right
sunny
at green
day.
up or right before green up in the
Yeah,
spring.
definitely. That at that time that time it's pushing out. So we're trying to hit it more like June, July when it's really needing that nutrients, really needing that
Yep.
water, and you hit that in the midday where the sun's on it, it's just gonna soak it right in. It's gonna kill it. So
Mhm.
like in the winter, we'll cut the whole thing down and then just put chemical on the actual stump and it'll stump kill it.
Yeah.
Honeysuckle is a big issue. And it
That's
just it
pretty
shades
much
out the
strict.
whole understory.
That's pretty much strictly the properties that I work on. It's pretty much honeysuckle
Mm.
and what I'm trying to think of what multiflora rose.
Yeah,
What
autumn
else?
olive, garlic mustard.
Yeah, we don't have as much
Uh,
garlic mustard in this area, but that was a big thing up like bigger woods up on the northern part of the
mhm.
state. Garlic mustard is a huge thing.
Reed canary grass. I mean, it's just an endless battle. Like especially when you're trying to establish like these CRP fields, you really have to control those weeds. Otherwise, you're just going to outcompete your grasses. I mean, you don't want to be putting all that work and spending a ton of money on seed.
Yeah.
These pollinators are expensive to plant. So, I mean, you want to reap the benefits of it and not let it be gobbled up by weeds.
And like you could never be in like there's people that make a career out of just doing food plots because there's so much work and you will like to make them turn out every single year. It's it's like if
It's
you're
an
just
art.
gonna like half-ass it, it's just don't do it. Just don't start
No,
because you're just gonna be way more irritated
yeah,
when
it's
you're pretty much throwing paint at the wall at that point, hoping it sticks.
you're just throwing money away too. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're
Nothing's
not
cheap
gonna
now.
test your soil, no, you're not gonna test your soil, not gonna put it in at the right time, you're not gonna get that seed to soil contact, then what's the point? I mean, I my plots are looking pretty good. I have that one plot that's been okay, we just haven't had the rain that we really needed. I literally planted right after we got a ton of rain. Like I just timed it so poorly. And then as soon as I planted, we had like maybe one rain since. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's you live and learn, and it's all timing. You just got to rely on Mother Nature sometimes. And we've had plenty of rain. The crops look great. I mean,
Yeah.
but
You just
it's
need
all
to be
timing.
someone that's like trying to put in food plots for like first time or like plant anything, like get a hold of like a land manager in your area and
Hmm.
or somebody or a biologist or something, and they'll let you know what to do, when to do it, and just be prepared to like you said, it's so weather dependent or
Yeah,
lambing it at the right time. Like make sure you have a little bit of flexibility before you take the jump and like what you're decide you're gonna do this, be like, okay, I'm gonna do it right. And I need to be a little bit flexible, whether it's
yeah,
save a day of vacation from work. And like, if you need to go out there and spend a full day out there and do it on the day that's perfect weather wise, or like the
yeah.
weather looks good that next week might be what it takes to do it because
I mean that you
I,
you make a good point. I mean, go in with having like a good train of thought. Like if you buy a property or you're leasing a property and hunt it first, see how it goes. Don't be making these changes, like drastic changes. See how the deer move. That was the first thing I did on my place was okay, how are they moving through my property? What are some ways where I could pinch them or funnel them in? Where are they bedding? And then what do I need to add? And that's when I start to, do that 5-year plan. So right now, I bought it in 2020. I didn't start the CRP in the forestry until 2020, 2022, because I bought right at the end of 2020. So I'm on year 3 of my plan, and um, it's looking really, really good. I said by the end of year 5, I should have, I'm hoping, some
so
some
is it,
good genetic.
so like, did you go into it with like a 5-year plan or do you have a longer
Yeah.
term plan than that? Or, okay.
5-year plan to start out with, and then the one thing that I wish I did a little bit better was to put more food aside instead of putting most of it into CRP because you're going to have your restrictions on when you do a program like that because you're getting money from the state, from the government,
Okay. Yeah.
and they want you to be putting in those grasses to stop the erosion and all those native plants. So one thing I wish I did was maybe keep 5 acres out of it, put that into whether it's lease it out to the farmer and just have him plant it, or just have
Right.
specific plots and put that more on the edge of my property instead of having my designated spots towards the middle because I'd rather be able to access from the edge and have them come to me as opposed to me having to go into that middle and trying to figure out a way to get there. So now I have to get permission from my neighbor in order to get to a couple of my spots because, you know, didn't
Yeah.
didn't give it that much thought going into it, but now I'm like,
You're
shoot,
talking
okay,
like to access it how you would want to be able to hunt it,
how
you
I would
need to
go
come it.
kill.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, you're talking about putting like your destination food sources or like your later season food sources like more on the edge so they
Well,
can
it's easier for me to get in, and most of
right,
my bedding would be in the middle, which it is. A lot of my bedding, I have a bunch of diversity pockets. I have a bunch of swamp willows. I have a bunch of like drainage ditches where it's all tall grass, and they're bedding up into that. I have switch. I have, big blue, little blue, and that's where they're all at. And I have a couple plots. Everything's outlined by clover, chicory, just because of burn break, alfalfa. So they have food everywhere. It's just a
Mhm.
matter of, getting them to that specific spot and creating enough edge for those bigger bucks to, cruise around and have to look, you know. If they get to that
Right,
edge and they see there's nothing in the field, what's the point of a buck going through that field if they already see everything, right?
right.
So
That
I
brings up
create a bunch of screens. I have a bunch of everything is just like a maze for these deer where they're gonna
yeah,
have to check everything.
yeah, and that's one thing that I've kind of picked up too from different people and like the habitat managers I've been around is that's the one thing they always say is it seems like sometimes if you don't have any experience with that and how to break up a field or break up an open area, and then when you kind of think about it, this kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if a buck walks out into this open area, he can see that entire thing. And if you want him to be in the middle, that's like
Yeah.
where you need him to be. They're edge creatures. Create a couple different edges that all end up and pinch down right there. And I
Yeah.
mean, you would be pretty surprised by how often they end up there.
Oh yeah, the movement. I mean, come pre-rut to rut, the amount of deer that I have just cruising through, scent checking most of my bedding areas is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have them right now, most likely middle of October, leading into that pre-rut Halloween area, like first week of November, I should have, if everything goes correctly, which hopefully it does, but you never know, I should have a deer on the ground, hopefully by first week of November at the latest. It's 20, it's
So when you went in and hunted it the first year, like you were talking about,
Mhm.
kind of, the deer move through it. Like, what do I need to do to just maybe tweak their pattern a little bit, not like totally, you're not
Mhm.
forcing anything. You're kind of like, what are these deer telling me they need? Like, are you planning for or setting up that piece of property more for a certain time of the year? Or are you trying to make it so really you can hunt it all year?
I could pretty much hunt my place all year besides late season due to not having that late season food out there. I don't have that standing corn or beans, or I do have a couple brassica plots, but they're small and I'm expecting them to get pretty hammered,
Right.
before the season even comes to that part. But like opening
And
day
there's only
to,
so much you can do. Like, there's only so much you can do. You're making the most out of what you
yeah.
have.
And that's why I have other spots too. I manage a
Yeah.
couple properties and I'm a part of a deer management program on our HOA, and that's where I'm going to kill my does. I mean, I'm just going to go in and get some meat
Right.
and stay out of my property. Why am I going to go out there and kill a doe if I could just hunt in my backyard and kill one?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it you get the kinks out, and it's good practice. To kill a doe early on is, I think, important for me just to make sure everything is full steam and ready to go. Get
Mhm.
all the kinks out. But yeah, I mean, I'm selective on all my spots. I have two stands basically on my place. One's a morning, one's an evening, and that's it.
Right.
It'll get to a point where a lot of the trees that I planted, I mean, I planted over 5,000 saplings over the last 3 years. So it'll get to a point where those trees are eventually mature enough where I'm able to sit on different parts of the property.
So that's a plan that you'll be able to like, whether you mobile hunt it or, you know, where you bounce around a little bit more, that's in your plan. It's just
Mhm.
not to the point where it needs to, that's possible at this
Yeah,
point.
it's just not there yet. I mean,
You're just playing the odds of
it's
what you,
with what I have. I mean, I have enough where I'm confident in those two stands where I could get in and out, access wise pretty easily and not bump any deer. But it'll come to a point where pretty much every corner of the property will be able to, either have a spot for a stand or see deer. But they're oaks. I mean, oaks take forever to grow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably see them mature, but my dad probably won't. Having him
Right.
help me, plant them. It's sad to think about it that way, but we're creating more habitat for the next generation. Hopefully, the future kids. Hopefully, they enjoy hunting, and I'm creating this for them too, a legacy for them.
And I think that people are so easy to lose sight of that though. Like everybody wants the quick, like what you can see it
We
on the
want it
forums all the
now.
time. You see it on the forums all the time. And forums are great. They answer questions if you need quick questions or from people. Usually every one of them has at least a couple guys that are really knowledgeable. And I've learned a
Hmm.
lot on forums, but like you always get at least a handful of people every year, whether that's the week before something needs to get done or whatever, and are
Yeah,
like, what food plot do I plant this year? And that's all they say. Like, oh, what for what? Like, what
yeah, I
goal do
know.
you have? What are you trying to do? Like, they don't see it past that year. It's all annual food plots where
Hmm.
what's going to bring that buck in this year.
And
And
you know,
that's great. And that's a good thing to rotate in and like have one or two of those plots on your property that your kill plots essentially every year or
yeah,
whatever. But it's like a quick fix that everybody wants now. Like, I need it
yeah.
now. But what about next year? You're going to have to completely redo it again. Like, there's no thinking about 10 years down the road. Like, what are projects
Hmm.
that I can do that my kids are going to benefit from, or my grandkids are going to benefit from, you know?
It's a time thing, and I get it. A lot of people just don't have the time to get out and do all this work, and the food plot might be their best thing, their best chance to kill a deer. So I get it from that aspect of it, but like what you're saying, like I'd rather do all the work up front and put my blood, sweat, and tears out here and get it all to the point where maybe 10 years from now I just have to mow all the plots or mow just the lanes and just trim up a couple of the trees and that's about it. Where I don't have to be putting in a plot every year.
Right.
I'm going to have those acorns falling. I'm going to have just natural browse, woody browse. Um, I mean, that's a buffet in itself. I mean, the amount of diversity that I have out there, I can't even count how many different shrubs and different oaks and hardwoods and stuff that I've planted out there. It's unbelievable.
And they're all natural, I'm sure, or most of
Yeah.
them.
Yep.
They're
Everything is
all
native, native.
non-invasive. So, which is important. I think the habitat managers that I've worked with push that very heavily, which there's some out there that, in my opinion, aren't doing it for the right reasons. That's all they do is
Mhm.
kind of push invasives. And I'm not going to get into why I think
Yeah.
that that's the
Man,
wrong way to go about it, but I don't know.
there's a market for it and, people are buying into it and, they
That's
use it
half the
for their
game.
screen or, I mean, that's a lot of what social media is now. It's, where can I make the money? And that's not where I'm at. That's far
Well,
from it. It's
it's kind of hard too when you have a business and you're customer based. And if your customer comes up to you and says, let's say you're a
hmm
contractor, right? Or you're a painter and you go up to someone's house and they're like, I want you to paint my house hot pink. And you can tell them, well, that's not going to help your resale value, one. And two, it looks like absolute garbage. But if they want pink, you know what you're going to do? You're going to get the best shade of pink you can find and you're going to paint it pink
Yep,
because they're
exactly.
cutting the check for you to paint it pink.
Hmm.
But that's a whole different
Yeah.
conversation we don't need to have. But anyways,
But yeah, it's fun. I mean, I tell people all the time, I love the land management aspect. It's gotten to the point where I love it more than actually hunting.
yeah,
It's weird to say it,
more
but
than the
like,
harvest, like just
yeah, oh yeah,
watching the deer use what you
yeah,
created, how it's intended to be used. Like
yeah.
that's
Like
what it's
I want to
about.
kill, obviously. If I didn't want to, harvest a whitetail, I wouldn't be doing this. That's my ultimate goal, but
Yeah.
to just get into the fresh air, and I'm fortunate enough to be living, 20 minutes from my place now, and I used to be coming from Chicago and just hunting the weekends, so now I'm striking distance, which is a godsend. Like I'm super happy to be up here full
And
time.
that's, I mean, there's so many people out there like wish that they could, have something like that or, you know, oh, it must be nice kind of mentality where
Yeah.
like you ask anybody that's got what you want and ask them how they got there, they probably started off pretty similar to you, where
Hard
they
work.
had that when they were young. They're like, I want this. And they did what they needed to do, whether that's move to across the country to live in an area
Yeah.
with big deer or start with buy a 5 acre property that they can barely
Yeah.
afford at the time and do what they need to, make it better, sell it, buy a bigger property. And
Yeah. I mean,
like, it's just a
there's never
natural
a right time.
progression.
There's never going to be a right time. And if you keep waiting, I tell everybody like a lot of guys will message me like, how'd you do this? And like that was my goal was to be a landowner. Like that literally saved up and put as much as I could towards a down payment. I'm still paying for it, but
Yeah.
the best thing that you could do is buy land, in my opinion. There's only so much of it. You end up getting married, you're gonna have to pay for a wedding, you got a honeymoon, then you end up having kids if that's something that you want to do, and
And if you don't have a house yet,
all your time, you got to buy a
get a
house, but then
mortgage.
all your time should be focusing towards them then. Your priorities switch. So then if you're trying to get into, land management then and buying a farm, it's just going to be that much more difficult. So,
There's never,
and
like
yeah,
you just said, it's never
no,
a good time. And if you need, I'm not saying go out there and go bankrupt and, be dumb and just buy a piece of land that's way bigger than what you probably should be buying. But like you
I
said,
mean,
there's never a good time. You just need to pull the trigger and
yeah,
do whatever
I
you
was,
can afford and whatever makes sense. You don't need a big property to start with
no,
at all.
I just walked, one of my buddies just bought a place and I just walked his place literally right before I jumped on here and to see his excitement off of buying this parcel, it's a smaller piece, but I mean, it could hunt bigger than what the acreage is. It's got that potential, and to see his excitement, and I remember when I had that excitement when I first bought my piece. It was cool to relive that. But yeah, there's always programs that you could enroll in that can help you. I mean, the CRP program that I enrolled in, they're
Mhm.
paying me basically for renting out my acreage because then we're putting in natives, we're putting in grasses, and it's helping with habitat and erosion.
There's not, I think that's like one of the most underutilized things when you like look at people that buy recreational properties. There's so many programs, like you said, that incentivize you to plant natives and take out invasives. And there's probably more than I don't even know about, but, and then you can get tax breaks and it's reach out to somebody that
Mhm.
is in land management or deals with this, on a daily basis because they have way more information than I would ever have. And I don't know hardly any at all, but look into whether you just bought a property or have had one for a while and are starting to do projects. Look into those programs because they can save you money. And like you said, you could be getting paid annually to do
Yeah,
those things. And you
I
said
mean,
you did what? CRP and then
I'm in three programs. So I'm in CRP and Equip and then the forestry. So the CRP and the forestry are all helping with my taxes. I mean, if it was just recreational, I'd be paying an arm and a leg for what I own. The Equip is basically helping me with cost share on all the tasks that I'm doing out there. So if I'm going out and doing some TSI or we're planting, they will help cost share what I'm spending with whether it's my time, my gas, and I just keep track of it. And I let them know, and then they pay half of what I've spent, and they actually pay me for my time. Like literally, they'll pay me for doing rabbit like brush piles.
yeah.
It's
You
I'm
might
getting
not
paid to
ever
do.
rabbit hunt or care what, like, not that you don't care about rabbits. It makes you sound kind of like a
No,
Grinch, but
I
like,
love the rabbit hunt.
but like, even if you didn't, you could care less. It's just like, that's just one thing you never think about that overall, that's just making your property better without even really trying too much.
It starts from the bottom. I mean, a good property is going to manage for everything. Your
Yep.
squirrels, your rabbits, your turkey. I mean, I haven't seen this many turkey out there before compared to now. I
It's
mean,
a domino effect because I can say firsthand doing the management stuff the last couple of years with someone who really cares about what they do and has taught me a lot, just indirectly, just watching him do what he does. And it's a domino effect because, like you said, you manage for everything. whether that's pollinators to birds to rodents and all these things. And it just naturally makes the other ones' habitat better also.
Yep.
You could be doing all these things for turkey and pollinators and stuff, and you're just making your deer habitat better without even realizing.
Exactly. You hit that one right in the head. I mean, managing your predators too. That's a big thing. I trap quite a
Yeah,
bit. I tend to do a lot of my trapping later on in the season because a lot of my spots that I have to get to, I'm disturbing the timber. But I'll do that towards like December, usually when there's snow and I could get where their tracks are going. I could set some fence sets and some dens. But managing the predators too. I'll have guys ask me, "Hey, can I coyote hunt?" If it's
sure.
after deer season, I'm not out there and yeah, you go kill as many coyotes as you want.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's cyclical, affects everything.
I don't, I'm not the one to preach at anybody, obviously. I'm sure you're the same way. We're just talking about kind of our experiences. We haven't really, I mean, we're no experts, but you know a lot more
God,
about
no.
habitat management than me. But
I'm still
I
learning.
mean, I just wanted to have you on because we haven't talked in so long and just to catch up for season starts and whatnot. But we
Yeah.
didn't even introduce you at all. We kind of just started talking and we're now we're 45 minutes in. Um, we can save that till the end though, because I don't want to get into a couple other things yet. I'm like, well, as far as someone who's new to habitat management or like buys a new farm or someone who
Hmm.
inherits whatever their situation is, if you've had a piece of land that you all of a sudden just get the itch to start doing things on whatever, or if you're lucky enough to have a permission piece, some landowners, will let you hunt it if you put in work or do some habitat stuff. I would recommend someone for every annual project they do to do at least one long-term project. Maybe
Hmm.
that's or maybe they should be doing more. What do you kind of think like would be a good rule of
In
thumb?
terms of like recommendations, so like
Well,
if you're
I guess
if
that's
you're getting
hard because
if you just bought a property, I'd say first buy two things: a chainsaw and a backpack sprayer.
yeah, 100%.
Cheap. They're cheap enough where you could still do an effective, you know, land management program with just those two things. You don't have to have a tractor. And I would have a forester come out, and if you could follow the forester, if you don't, if you're not good with identifying trees and identifying invasives and all the natives, follow a forester, have them come out and just have them just talk about what your timber has. You don't have to end up putting it in the plan, but you just have them out there and you can learn so much from a forester.
And they're
But
there to help you. Like they're out there trying to make land managers more informed too. So
yeah, and they're going to listen to your goals. Like the first thing they're going to ask you, okay, what do you want from your property? Like, do you want to, do a select cut and harvest some of this, timber out? Do you want to manage it for deer? Do you want to just remove invasives? Like, what do you want? And usually for me, I don't want the timber coming out. Maybe for a rainy day, if that were to ever be the case, then yes, but mine's just removing invasives and getting a good understory and allowing for that sunlight to get down and put just natural browse up. That's
I think,
what my
yeah,
contract is every time.
I think that would be my number one recommendation too. If someone's starting from scratch, like if this is like a property that's
Hmm.
never been touched, there's invasives on it somewhere, like of
Yeah.
some sort, or almost guarantee you there is. And being that and then some TSI work. Like if you could do that, because realistically, I mean, if you don't want it to be a year round thing, that's fine. But that's one thing you can do, in the spring before green up,
Hmm.
or like you said, in the summer when you're not really doing anything else before it's time to do any, planting or whatever
Hmm.
is that's something that's going to benefit you. Like we were talking about that, like forever.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
picking one or two of those projects to do at the, like, I get you want to, put up stands and do your food plots and things that are more short term, like that year, doing your,
Yeah.
like your, scrapes or doing your community scrapes, whatever you do, whatever your goals kind of want you to do. But picking a couple of those more long term projects that are going to benefit more than just you, I would recommend people really think about and push them in that direction too.
Yeah. And my forestry plan is broken up into 7 years. So each year I'm tackling a little section. And what I tell a lot of guys is like, don't set too many projects because then if you don't get to them, then you're gonna feel like, oh, I didn't accomplish anything. Like set those mini goals, those mini projects, and just chip away at those bigger goals. Now, I have
Mhm.
20 something acres that I have to remove invasives from. I'm not going to do 20 acres in 1 year. I just did a 2.5 acre piece this past year. Got that approved, so that's done. I still have to maintain it because stuff's still going to come back. So it's not like
Mhm.
because I'm done that I'm done touching it. No, I have to go back every year, with the sprayer, hit everything, making sure everything's getting killed off. So, don't bite. What's the saying? Don't bite too much that you can.
Don't bite off more than you can chew. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's the saying.
But like, yeah, that's a really good point. Like it seems too simple to like even think about like, oh yeah, whatever. You kind of take it for granted, but it's like
Hmm.
it would take you, like you said, to do 20 acres in one season, like you would need multiple guys, full-time jobs to do that
Yeah. And
properly.
there's companies that can do it. I mean, quickly too. I mean, they got the
I mean, if you have the
equipment
money,
for it.
sure,
Sure.
contract someone out
I'm
and do
by
it if you want it
myself.
done quick.
I'm by myself. I have my dad, I have my cousins, and they help where they can, but they have lives too. I mean, they're in high school or they got their jobs. So, I feel bad
Yeah.
asking them for help because, now they don't hunt it. I'm the only one that hunts the place. Like, we just planted 3,200 shrubs and oaks this past year, and I had to ask for help with the tree planter because I could not do them all by hand. I would die. I would.
Yeah.
We did, what was it, 1,600 the year before, all by hand, and it took me 2.5 weekends.
Yeah. But that's going to make it like, that's what makes it all worth it in the end. Yeah. Cause like, and that's part of like too that I wanted to kind of touch on too, because we've had conversations, you know, we've met a handful of times and talked about this too, is like the importance of like just having that group of people that you experience those things with. And like they might not be benefiting directly, but like I've had people ask me, I've done habitat work with buddies just because they needed an extra guy,
Hmm.
because you had a small part in that. You can feel great when, they harvest their target buck, or, their cousin or nephew or younger, relative benefits from that, kills a deer or whatever. You can know that you played a small part in that.
Yeah.
And
And that goes to like our sense of community and having that camaraderie. I mean, I live for seeing my dad and my younger cousins harvest more than myself at this point. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but like, to see my dad's reaction, to see their reactions, because they're newer to it. My dad's been hunting his whole life, but he's had a different mind change. He used to, if it's brown, it's down. And the past
yep,
couple years, he's been listening to what I've been saying and, managing, and he's on the same page as me. And he just gets so amped up, and I love
yeah,
everything about it. So to have all those people around and just have, like what you said, good friends, like you bounce ideas off of. Like we have group chats that we're always sending stuff to, like, hey,
don't
what would you do in this
don't
scenario?
surround yourself. It's fine having friends that aren't involved with hunting or do whatever, but like make sure you have a handful of guys that you know that you can tell them things and
Yeah.
bounce ideas off with, whether that's a group chat or whatever, whether you
Hmm.
never really hardly see them, but like some guys that you get along with that kind of think the same way you do. And it's important to try to do a deer camp with them every year, or
Oh,
get
yeah.
together with them at least once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just,
Well,
it gives you a little sense of like support, I guess, because I think that's
we
kind
on,
of,
we only have so many deer camps left in us. And I say just like take advantage of it.
yeah,
Take advantage of hanging out with the guys, with the family. I'll be heading out to PA right after Thanksgiving. We're gonna do some deer drives and meet up with
yep.
Ty Wilbur and Ty Forbes and Tim Palmer. So some great guys out that area. Take advantage of it. I mean, don't say no to trips. Yeah, do it. Because you're gonna come in time. There's gonna be a point in time where you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I would have done that. You know?
Yeah. Don't ruin relationships that you have now for it. I will say that. But
Yeah.
if it's something as simple as like a 3-day weekend, like this year, we're going to do a we did joke a little bit, but like a scrape week, like scrape weekend technically,
Yeah,
because we're taking like a 3-day weekend, get like an Airbnb somewhere we've never been before, like the end of October. And like my dad, a couple of buddies that
nice.
we never get to hunt together. 3 days, they just all show up, have
Yeah,
fun at night, go out for the day, scout around, hunt for 3 days. And if we
yeah.
don't kill a deer, that's fine. But I'm guessing that they're not going to be very picky, which is,
So,
you know, put one on the buck pole. And those are the things you're going to remember in 30 years, not the,
exactly.
but
Yeah, exactly.
that's
You
our
said
little,
it. You said it. I mean, I remember all the good times that we've had, and I've had family members that have passed, and you think of all those good times that we had in our, I call it the shed. That's our deer camp, and that was another goal of mine was to create like a place where everyone could come and just hang out, and because I grew up basically going to those, sitting at the kitchen table, and that's what I loved. So to have that where, yeah, I have a bunch of trophies sitting around, but what's important is what is at the table where we're all talking, we're playing darts, playing pool, having drinks. I mean,
yep.
that's what it's all
Or
about.
as simple as somebody in your group shoots a doe and just being able to go, you know, track one or go on blood trail with your buddies. Like
There's nothing
that's
like
what it's
it.
about. Yeah.
There's nothing like
Doesn't
it.
matter what it is.
I told my buddy, I'm like, I live for walking properties, and I live for jumping on a blood trail and trying to
The
find
aftermath of
find
it all.
find that animal. Dude,
Yeah.
it's nothing like it. Nothing like it. Yeah, I
Well, you got
agree.
me excited to finally get out in the woods here.
I'm pumped, dude.
I haven't been out yet, and yeah,
I'm pumped. I'll probably hunt close by here and probably hunt in the backyard a couple times and then see what's going on with some of those cameras. I have those cameras in strategic spots where I know they're going to start to shift, and if I start to see that shift happen, I know, all right, I'm going to have to get into that stand and wait for the
yep,
right wind and everything. But yeah, it should be fun.
yep. I'm in the same boat. But yeah, most of my cameras that are out right now are on in preparation for that shift, more mid
Hmm.
October, more rut stuff on scrapes or pinches and stuff for the rut. Just because being like I've been and lived in this area for 4 years now, but it's still learning, still finding new spots, just kind of soaking cameras and kind of have intel from the last couple of years, but kind of just get that multi-year
Hmm.
data to just really nail things down.
And we always go back to those spots that you're going to see deer. Like you hear these guys talk like, okay, if you had a 3-day stretch, where would you go? You have a spot in mind that you're going to go to,
You have a
right?
couple backups, but yeah, it's always
Yeah.
like what's over the next
It's,
hill.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
So,
that's my plan. I have the next 2 days off. So tomorrow, I think, just because it's like, I need one of those days I haven't hunted yet to like, that day you knock all the rust off and like takes you like twice as long to get set up
to
and
set
forget a
up.
bunch of stuff. Yeah, that's tomorrow. Like I already know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna lay out. I'm gonna have everything dialed in before I leave. But it's just gonna be like you just have to expect that first day to be like that. So I'm taking tomorrow as like my mulligan, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it tomorrow. But
Yeah.
I gotta check
Dry
a couple
run.
cameras. Yep, I'm gonna check a couple cameras. Don't plan on hunting tomorrow. If I find something like super hot that looks like just nasty good, I'll probably hunt it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll probably just check some cameras, and then Wednesday I plan on whatever using whatever is on camera or the stuff
Good.
I found last week that was hot last week. I'm probably just go recheck and throw a hunt at it. Ease back into everything, and
Just don't forget your release. I've done that before.
as long as
Oh, I've
it
done
could be.
that, man.
I just don't
Ah,
understand. We talked the last podcast, me and my buddy, about like I'm yet to be that person to like forget their bow. Like I don't understand how someone could like you get there and it's like that's the one thing you need essentially to
well,
be able to hunt.
I was shooting in the backyard that day before, and something came up where you put it down, put the release down, you put the bow away, and then you go onto the stand, you open up your case, you grab your bow, and then you're like, wait a minute. Normally, I put the release right around the
Oh
bow.
yeah. uh I've been that guy to drop in the woods and lose it, but like
Ugh, I did it once. I won't do it again because I have two. I have one in the car now, just in case.
it's a good call. Yep.
I won't do that again.
I forgot like when like if your stabilizer is like a quick disconnect I've done that
Hmm.
to where I'm shooting and then just like for some reason set it down before it gets in the case, and then I
Yeah.
pull it out to hunt and I have no stabilizer, and it's like, well, this is still doable. It's just
Yeah. You'd still be able to
yeah,
kill.
yeah. Well,
But yeah,
before we hop off, I want to do a couple like just for fun, couple fun questions for you. So
I feel like if we give some good advice and if they want to take it, they can. It's all suggestions. That's all it is.
yeah, it's just fun conversations. Take
Yeah.
it with it
This is
what you
good.
will. If you don't like it, just don't listen. It's fine.
Yeah.
But the first one is like, is there any gear that you got since last year that you're like excited to
Hmm.
that you didn't have last year that you like are super pumped to use?
Yeah, the new Prime bow, Prime form, axle, and it's got the osteo limbs
Oh,
on it. So I'm pumped for that.
34. I'm a big long. I actually,
I've never been into longbows. I mean, I was more like 29, and I was nervous
yeah,
about the 34, and been shooting really good. I'm using Arrows Anonymous arrows, the Addicts. So Kalen Pope, he put those together for me, and they're flying like darts. So using the Mega Meats. So all three of those are going to be brand new. I'm brand new broadhead,
and
brand new arrow.
that's one of those things where like there's such like a fine line between using something that you've are so comfortable with and like changing something like a bow, arrow, broadhead, whatever that is. Like those three things, like
It's
and
frustrating. It's
one,
a pain in
it's
the
one,
ass.
it's one of those things where you just need to run it through a deer right where you want it, and
Yeah.
then watch him fall over, and it's like, all right, I guess I did my it works, you know. Even though you know
Well,
it's gonna work, like it's all great equipment. Everything made
yeah.
is great equipment nowadays, but just like the confidence you have in it.
Yeah. Everything I used last year, it worked. I never sent away a deer. I mean, I used it for 3 years and I killed numerous deer. And I'm like, all right, let's just be done. Let's change everything up and let's start from
Yeah.
like it's
Or like when
exhausting, like redoing a whole new setup, but it should
you
be
re-kill
killer.
your personal best or something, and then it's like kind of get sentimental. I'm like that if I
Yeah.
killed a good one, I'm at least using it the next
Yeah.
well, one more year until I have
Yeah.
a bad year, and then that's my excuse to just mentally like must have been the equipment,
Hmm.
switch it up.
Well, I
But
mean, it worked out. My cousin was getting into archery and he wanted to bow hunt, so I gave him my old. I mean, old. That was the Phase 4, so it's not that old. So he got a good deal out of it. So he gets a
heck yeah,
pretty decent Matthews, and I'm using the Prime, so hopefully he's able to kill with it. And yeah, it's been fun watching him, develop and get him to be a better archer. So.
yeah. So it's all about.
Hmm.
Um, last question. What is your like go to snack and stand? Like you're sitting all day during the rut. What are you going with? You like a chocolate guy, or are you a
Yeah,
candy
yeah.
guy, or
Reese's cups for sure. I love anything chocolate, anything peanut butter. I'll do like the Nutter Butters. Um, it's usually a mixed bag. It's like the Cosmic Brownies too. Those are
oh, okay.
freaking fire, dude.
Little
Terrible
Debbie's
for you.
always.
Yeah, terrible for you. Occasionally I'll bring jerky up into the
Yep.
stand too. Just that protein. Especially if I'm doing like a full day sit, I'll have like the Uncrustables and stuff that's
There you go.
already unpackaged. So I unpackage everything and I
Yeah.
just put it into like a Ziploc baggie.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, less noise.
That and they don't get the wind doesn't take it out of your hand, and
Yeah. And then the
that's for
deer eat
everybody
it
out
off
there
the
that
ground. You're
litters.
like, yeah.
Don't litter.
But
You
yeah, I
always
give
see
you a mixed
something in the
bag there.
woods,
I
but
don't.
yeah.
I would say Reese's is probably my number one. Just a Reese's cup. I'll just pop those.
I'm a big Twizzlers guy.
Twizzlers.
I like those.
I
And the
love
thing is,
Twizzlers. Yeah.
you gotta like if you're gonna try something new, make sure it's good cold because you're gonna put it in your fanny pack or your pack and it's gonna be below freezing and you're gonna
Yep.
open it up and it's gonna be rock hard. So
Yep.
if you don't want whatever you're eating to be rock hard, like I tried peanut M&Ms once,
Oh, you probably
it did
broke your
not go
teeth.
well because I almost broke teeth. But
Cosmic Brownies, phenomenal cold. Reese's, phenomenal cold. So, yeah.
Twizzlers, they're a little chewy when they're cold, but they're still good. They last a
No,
little
those.
longer that way. And then I'm a big Milky Way cold guy. The consistency is just there. like a chocolate bar when it's cold.
Nice.
Snickers, I'm not. Peanuts get a little hard, but yeah, that's my two recommendations. If somebody's looking for
Yeah,
broaden their
we're
horizons a little bit.
yeah, we're gonna be eating a bunch of crap, I could tell you that. That's why work hard in the off season, get as strong as you can, and shed as much weight as you can, and then it's gonna start to get put on, I can tell you that.
I'm the opposite, surprisingly.
Really? Oh, you're
I
on
kind of like
public, you're walking a lot. I'm not walking
the
far.
hills are something fierce. I always end up losing like 10 pounds just because of walking.
Yeah, I just eat quite a bit. You see those memes where you're like, "Oh, this should last me till like," or those pictures should last me till like noon. No, nine
It always
o'clock
gets
done.
eaten right away. Yeah.
Yep,
But
yep.
yeah, I think
So
we took,
yeah,
I mean, I had fun talking to you. It's been a little bit.
appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, I know. Probably next time I'll see you. Probably be the Dell show if you do that again.
We'll do some off-season shows, I'm sure, this off season, but I'm sure we'll be in
Yeah.
contact before then.
Oh yeah.
Might have to do
You
another one of these when
you
season's done,
kill a
once they both
stud. You
knock
kill
one
a
down.
stud. I'll drive up there. You're not far from me, so.
No, you're not. That's a good call because I don't know very many people that would be willing to drag a deer out. I know a couple, but if they're tied
Well,
up,
you let me know if I'm not tied up. I'll be
you'll
up
get a
there and I'll
picture
drag
either
with you.
way.
I sure hope so.
Yeah,
Jeez. Yeah, but yeah, you let me know. I tell everyone if I'm free and I'm not in the stand, I could always get out of the stand. But if my odds are good to
yeah.
kill, I'm probably gonna stay still for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do that to anybody. But yeah, we never really got to do like an intro, but it kind of gets repetitive, you know.
Yeah,
Every podcast you listen to, I mean, if people want to find you, they'll find you. But um, why don't you just give everybody at least, your name, where you're at, and
sure.
shout out your Instagram if you're on YouTube or anything like that.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm Angelo Giannoni, hunt out of Illinois. Try to hunt as many states as we can when the time permits and when the funds permit. But you can find me on Instagram, the Hunt Life 365, and our group is Legacy Pursuit. Just a group of guys that are just having fun, not focusing so much about creating the content and getting everything on film, but just having fun in the woods and building that camaraderie. So follow along. I always post quite a bit of stuff that I'm doing, and if you have any questions, let me know. And if there's something that you do better than that I'm doing, give me some feedback. I'm always looking to get better. So yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. And if anybody has any questions based on our conversation with habitat stuff, if it's
Yeah.
easier to reach out to me, I'll get the question to you and have you reach out too. I would say you're pretty open to if people want to reach out to you. I'm
Oh,
sure you'll be answering any questions, so stuff we talked about, or if people end up following you on Instagram and see your habitat stuff that you do. There's a
yeah.
lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
So
usually if someone has questions, I usually just give them my phone number. Hey, call me. I'd rather do that than I'll just be typing back and forth on Instagram. So yeah, you
yeah,
just let me know. Always happy to help. We're all here for each other. So
cool. Well, you'll have
appreciate
to
it,
let me know
buddy.
when you knock one down this week. So,
I got a couple weeks left, so I think
oh,
we
that's right.
open up
October.
October 1st, and just gonna stay out. I'll send you some pictures of some of the ones that are coming through, but should be a
Cool.
good year.
Well, everybody go check out Angelo's stuff he's doing.
Appreciate it,
He's
buddy.
the man.
I love what you're doing, so keep having great guests on. Yeah, I've been listening, so keep it up.
Cool. Appreciate it.
All
Have a
right,
good
buddy.
night.
Yeah, talk to you later.